I think this fender was in good shape, all except it had been pushed back a little bit. So when you open the door, it came in contact with it. I think somebody just forced the door open and messed up the fender. I believe this is the only part that had to be adjusted forward. But anyway, it's messed up. Take too much work to fix it. It's easier to buy a new one, which we have. And now to remove the fender, you have to remove this screw, which is a 10 millimeter, the headlight one also. So remove these. I have loosened them prior to this video. Take this one out. 1, 2. I don't need to take this all the way out because once I, get the rest loose, I should be able to slide that fender out. And right up in here, I've removed that screw from there. Okay? Then down here, these plastic clips, there's 2 different styles. This one here, there's a pin in there, right? So let's go in here to hold it in. Just take a punch or something small enough and push the pin through. And if you have the correct tool, which will fit underneath like this, look like a flat screwdriver for cut out in it, and pry it out, or you can just use the screwdriver on the side and work it out. So that style that I just showed you, there's one here, one here. This style here, slightly different. You just lift the top off a little bit. It'll be closed up like this. Put a screwdriver in there and lift that up. And then that will pop out. Down here, it's a 10 millimeter. And in the back, here, another 10 millimeter. So you take those 2 out, then all of this will be ready to remove. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't a 10 millimeter. It's a Phillips, because I'll screw that back in. Phillips right here. Okay, and underneath, all the way down underneath here in the back. I don't know if you can see it, but right back here, it's a 10 millimeter that you have to take out. Once you take all these out, this fender should be ready to come out after we loosen one around the headlight area. When you open the door, it's going to come in contact with the fender. So what I'm going to do to get one more screw that's down about here out, a 10 millimeter, take this little tool that I've had for ages. It was made to pull out oil seals in the engine. Take that, put that right in here. Trying not to mess up the door. Pull that fender out like this. And actually, that screw came, as I was pulling it, the screw came right through this hole. So I have to loosen that screw later on and get it off. Now around front, we have 2 10 millimeters right here. This is the headlight bracket, the lower bracket for the headlight. And that screw, 10 millimeter screws on that bracket go right through into the fender. So we take that out. Another one down here, take this out. Okay, and right back here, the whole, this splash guard on is one of those little plastic clips that hold this to the fender. And I believe that should be it. Hope we don't have to remove the headlight. Okay, I loosened this earlier, the top screw here, but I never took it out. The top screw right in here. Okay, so I'm gonna get that out now. Now everything loose, fender pops right off. Now when you do this, before you throw your old fender away, make sure you transfer all these little clips, whatever you have, your screws, these little plastic pieces that pop in here so you can screw into. Take all that off and keep it. I don't throw anything away until the job is done. Also on here is a bracket that's gonna, it's like a stiffener, that this is where the bumper cover latch into. This is gonna have to be taken off and put on the new fender. Okay, we're gonna mount everything. Once after this job come back from the frame shop, we're gonna mount everything and make sure everything fits right, and then take it all back off again for painting. Okay, in order to put this fender on, even though I took the old fender off with the headlight on, it's much easier taking the headlight out to put the fender on. So right now, since I've loosened this screw and this right here, all I need to do is take this one off and I should be able to move this headlight. Okay, it's still attached right here, down bottom. I'm gonna try and leave that on there. In fact, that's the headlight bracket that's attached down there. And that bracket is broken, but we're gonna try and reuse that bracket. If it's not too much money, we'll probably put a new one on. I mean, it's stiff enough in there that we don't have to change it. Okay, we'll move the headlight assembly out of the way. And now I put some tape down here so I don't scratch this door and have to do more work on it. I'm gonna fit this up in here like this. Drop a screw in here, just to hold it in place. No need to screw it all the way down. Now I can tell this bracket. Let me put one back here first. Hold the back here in place. All right. Then I'm gonna, as you can see, the holes don't line up here for this bracket. So this bracket is bent. All right, and that's easy. These are not heavy metal, they're easy to shape. And I'll put a screw in through that. Okay, need to be straightened a little bit more. Punch a screwdriver. Okay. All right. I'm just putting this on temporarily to check for fit. As you can see, once we tighten everything down, this will line up pretty good. And if you need any adjustments, these little brackets that the fender bolt onto, like I said, they can easily be adjusted by pushing, pulling, lifting. You know, lift like that, push, pull, press down, however you need it to align, to align it with the hood. Okay, so we're gonna set the headlight in. and then put a few screws in. 2 screws down here, and then the headlight screws. Okay, I'm gonna try and fit this headlight in here and see what we have for alignment. It's going pretty good, but not all the way. Since this vehicle was hit from the left side and pushed slightly over to the right, which caused this fender to be shifted up in that direction, that tells me that this support right here is a little bit too far over to the right. So once we go to the frame shop, this is going to be pulled over a little. When that side is taken care of, this will also move gradually over. The holes don't quite line up. It's about maybe ½ an inch off. Okay, so once we can do that, we should be pretty good over here. The alignment here isn't perfect. All right, so this is why I'm trying to fit this side first before we go to the frame shop to see what needs to be done.